What's a little thing you do to make the world a better place? Pick up trash. I used to leave my parking permit on the permit machines if I had an early day at community college so someone else didn't have to pay. Turns out it started a trend and people still do it. I can't take the full credit though. I think someone accidentally bought two and didn't realize it, so they left it at the machine. Cut all 6-pack rings. Clean up. Donate blood products. Your body's constantly making red blood cells and platelets, and it's harmless and possibly healthy to donate. I started with whole blood because, well, that's what donating blood means to people. 15 minutes of time, eat a cookie, get a sticker. After I did that for a few gallons, I was asked if I'd consider donating platelets. They have to be used within 5 days of collection, so there's always a constant need, but it takes about 2 hours to do it. A single pint of blood doesn't have enough for a platelet transfusion, so the donor ends up hooked to an apheresis machine that'll centrifuge the blood, remove the platelets, and return the rest of the blood back to the body. So I end up watching Netflix for 2 hours on Saturday while doing another triple donation every other week, up to 24 times a year. It's like Spider-Man's quote in Civil War, "When you can do the things I can, but you don't, and then the bad things happen. They happen because of you." Obviously, donating like this isn't saving the world, but it's making the world a better place, and I'd feel ashamed if I just spend the time watching Netflix at home instead of doing some good at the same time. I also donated bone marrow in 2008, so that was a little more of a if you can help and don't, and bad things happen, it's your fault situation, as I was the best available match in the entire world for my recipient. That was a little thing to me, but a life-changing thing for that person's family. I always make sure to be overly polite to people serving me, whether in a restaurant or a shop, and I always tell them to have a good day when I leave. Having worked in retail, I know a simple "how are you?" "Thank you" or "have a nice day" can mean a lot, especially on a bad shift. I was raised to have good manners, and I'll be damned if I don't flex them at any opportunity I have. It always saddens me that other people can't be the same way. Own up to my mistakes to those it directly affects. Take care of my things. We didn't have much while growing up, and my mother always believed in quality. She would buy things she knew we would use a lot. I have the same pencil case from 6th grade. I'm in grad school now. I have linen bed sheets, water bottles, fountain pens, mugs, and even some clothes that I've used for over 10 years. This helps me consume less, in turn creating less waste. I feel like we should strive to reduce, before using and recycling. It blows my mind how some people go through so much crap because they see it as disposable or it's out of fashion. I've had the same backpack since 2007, the same duffel bag since 2004, and the same laundry hamper basket since 2000. I also use the hamper laundry basket to put my groceries in when I go to the store, so I'm not using bags either. I'm also in grad school and I've got 10-plus-year-old binders and the same ruler I've had since middle school. My dad hammered it into me that you take care of your stuff. It was annoying when I was younger, but once I started paying for all my own stuff, I was so glad he was like that. I have the same backpack since 1990. I have shoes and boots that are older than a lot of Redditors. I buy most of my things from thrift shops and I take good care of them. My parents taught me well. They have the same toaster since 1963. I'm 16, so my stuff isn't that old, especially because I just stopped growing. But my pillowcases and blanket were my dad's when he was my age, and they're the best. Original 1979 The Empire Strikes Back cases and blanket. When someone gets cut off repeatedly in conversation, I make an effort to make eye contact with them and say, "Go ahead, I'm listening," or something along those lines. Yes, I do this too, and you can tell by the look on their face that it's really appreciated. Everyone knows how it feels to have a story cut off, especially if it happens more than once. Good on you. As someone who is constantly interrupted when speaking by her closest family members, I appreciate you. There's not many people who even consider this as an option. Not being listened to sucks. I say thank you, sincerely, simple, but effective. My husband always says you're welcome whenever anyone thanks him for anything. You wouldn't believe how often we skip it until you hear him. He holds the door open and someone mutters thanks. He says you're welcome. He hands me a dish I'm reaching for and I just thanks. And he says you're welcome. Always does. No matter how small or inconsequential. Slight clarification. He never says no problem or anything else. I don't know if I buy it, but I did hear once that no problem has an unspoken connotation that the action, could have been a problem. I personally do like my pleasure, and I use all of these. My husband, though, only says you're welcome. Try it for every little thing. You'll be noticed. And no, it doesn't come across as insincere or overly formal. He definitely is not that. LOL. When I remove an item from a grocery store shelf, I move the same item forward to replace it. As top shelf items, short people like me appreciate you. I am a tall person with severe nerve damage in my back. At your next short person's meeting, can you discuss doing this on the lower shelves? Thank you in advance. That's kind of a tall order, don't you think? I do this, too. Not so much to help people reach them, but more to just face off the shelf since I worked in retail so much. It takes an extra second and helps the store look tidy. If everyone did it, well, I guess we might start costing people jobs. Recognize and thank a person for their help, efforts, no matter how small a task may seem. I found this really helpful as a bar manager at festivals. When you have crazy 14-hour shifts, just telling people, hey man, thanks for restocking the fridge, really goes a long way. Purple heart. I always go on the side of the sidewalk closest to the cars when I see an elderly person or someone with a baby. I doubt anything changes really, but I like to think I'm being selfless. As someone frequently with a baby, I would notice and appreciate this. I pick up a few pieces of trash each time I walk my dog. It's a very tiny thing, but I like to think it adds up. I often hike ski mountains and you wouldn't believe how many beer cans, sunglasses, nip bottles, junk etc. that you find under chairlifts. It's all over the mountain, but I usually hike under the chairlift to collect. Makes me feel good. Nature is beautiful and precious and people are dongs to it. I take a trash bag kayaking. Looks like a lot of it is accidental loss. Hardly ever seen anyone just chunk trash on the ground. Not like the 70s anyway. The more humans, the more trash makes its way loose. Found my own trash on the side of the road in the neighborhood. Oops, blew away and didn't see it. Oops, fell out the trash truck. Whatever. Pick up more than you lose and we're all good. Really, it's a can't lose scenario. You the real MVP. I don't know if it makes the world a better place, but I try to be as nice as possible to people, even strangers who come up and talk to me. I'm nice to them. I don't know what they're going through, but sometimes we just need someone to talk to. Yes, whenever I have an exchange with a retailer service worker, I try to really look at them and invest a little in the exchange. People can tell when you treat them like a person, instead of an automaton. I know many don't care and just want to be done with their shift, but that's the point. And some really seem to come alive if they realize you're treating them like someone who deserves notice. Move turtles out of the road, smiley face. Yay! When you move them, make sure you put them in the direction they were going. They are quite determined to go where they want to go. Of course, I move them far enough away from the road, in the direction they're going, pick up closer to the rears, and I hold them close to the ground in case they decide to fight me and I flinch. Wait for people that get left behind. No bro left behind. I used to get left behind at family lunches and dinners, as I am a slow eater. An uncle of mine started staying with me till I finished my food. Probably cost him some time, but meant a lot for me. Use manners. Sounds inconsequential, but after working hospitality, retail, the amount of people that don't use them is terrible. Related. Treat the person answering the phone as a person, recognizing that they're probably paid peanuts to be ranted at by customers who expect them to be magicians. Also experience taught. When you see someone that looks down or lonely, talk to them. You might make a good friend. I leave spare quarters in gumball machines. I like to think it makes somebody happy every once in a while. That's really great. When I was little, I found a quarter already in the gumball machine. It was you. You're welcome. I do my best to keep bread and toast crumbs out of the butter container. Truly the kindest of all of us. I just take the whole stick of butter and rub it on the toast, corn like a giant magic marker. Compliment people. I saw on here that men don't get many compliments, so I try to do it in as unflirty a way as possible so it doesn't get awkward. Simple stuff like cool shirt. When I worked at Starbucks, I tried to say one compliment to each customer that went through the drive-thru. It could be something as simple as nice sunglasses or watch or whatever. It could literally be anything, and it totally switched people's attitude toward you. I told other partners, other employees, to do this, and it somehow made some shifts a lot easier to manage, customer-wise. I still try to do this at work, but it's a little harder now with the social distancing and masks. Esmeralda voiced by the way. Great mask. I don't mess with my phone while driving. One less hazard to worry about on the roads. Thank you? Whenever I see a fellow woman wearing something super great looking, I'll go as far as to yell I like your dress, hair/makeup, across the street. Try to raise respectful and compassionate children. Take my shopping cart to the return corral when I'm done with it. Write little love messages on the tag of my wife's tea bag when I get her a cuppa. I stay up till 4 a.m. each day, because I have several friends who are struggling during the lockdown and are getting depressed, so I stay up till then either waiting to see if they'll talk or talk to them to calm them before they fall asleep mid-convo. Some days I don't get a message from any of them and I've stayed up till 4 a.m. for no reason, but I don't mind, because I care for them and one of them is so I love and care for her so much. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button and leave a comment which story you liked the most. Subscribe and hit the bell notification for updates on our latest videos. And don't forget to check the links in the description box for more awesome content.